Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 19th to the 25th. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right into it, Taurus. First, happy birthday for late Tauruses. These are the last few days of Taurus season. Listen, this is still a big month for you. This is one of look at what's happening. I'll just say, Saturn's moving into Aries. We're here. One of the highlights of 2025. This is the third of the four outer planets changing signs. This is history making. There's more to it too. I've told you there's so much more to just Saturn moving into Aries. We'll talk about it. I'll tell you what's happening here for you. You see what's happening on that same day too. It's one of the strongest conjunctions of the year that's happening in your sign. Yeah. You're going to see your life change in ways that you never have before. It's all here. It's all here. You already are seeing that happen, especially with things that you may have been like manifesting to since mid-March. Remember, this is the year of the Great Awakening. This is the age of ascension. And I'll tell you what you've been going through since mid-March, all right? I'll refresh your memory, but let's just jump in to the most stimulating, exciting, insanely optimistic, fruit-bearing, least boring week of May. And remember the blue asterisk, best aspects of the week. Look, they're all great aspects. Look at all these sextiles. Look at all these trends. This is a shift. This is a mood. This is an excellent mood shift. And you're probably still feeling the Uranus Cazimi from over the weekend. Look at your last week's reading. Remember, Jupiter's with the nodes and with Chiron. You're doing a lot of healing, but also personal growth and transformation. And congratulations, by the way, because we are past those two squares that I told you in your May monthly forecast. The only two challenging aspects of the month, they're done. We're gone. We're done with that. We're past that full moon in Scorpio, and it only gets better from this point forward in one of the most auspicious months of 2025. And hey, those two squares, some of y'all probably didn't even feel, but listen, Tuesday, May 20th, here we are. This is going to be one of the biggest days. I want you, Taurus, to pay attention to this entire week. But listen, you see that we are moving into Gemini season, but look what happens right before. You have the Sun sextiling Saturn, okay? Obviously, Sun sextiling Neptune as well, but Sun sextile Saturn, 29 degrees, the anaretic degree, critical degree. What comes after 29 in astrology? 0. Right? So what is this? It's your graduation. This is the sun in your sign, the sun, this life force, energy, optimism, everything with Saturn that's in Pisces for a few more days in your 11th house of your future hopes, wishes, and dreams, and your long-term goals, your long-term plans and commitments. But also your 11th house is also your social network. It's groups you belong to. It's networking, it's your support system, it's benefactors, it's allies. If you're here for third marriage, it's your third marriage. But anyway, remember what I've been saying for the past few months. If you work with Saturn, which is karma, which is life lessons, you'll be rewarded. Well, here you go. Here's your diploma. Here's your reward. Okay. You went through the Saturn North Node conjunction. That's not easy. You've been working with Saturn in Pisces in your 11th house for several years, and now you've got wings. He's giving you wings. Sextiles are windows of opportunity that help you thrive and prosper. And this is happening at 29 degrees before Saturn moves into Aries for a few years, okay? And so spirituality is still going to be a really big theme for you, big area of focus, but before we even get there, remember I said Saturn's making things easier for you. It's so not typical for Saturn. All right. He's still testing you, of course. He gives you reality checks. That's Saturn. He's reality. All right. It's so you have structure and discipline and longevity to your commitments, things that you've put your energy and time into. And now he's working with the sun in your sign, setting you up, building that bridge. This is an amazing aspect that you have to use. Remember, you have to use these aspects, take that action. But the Sun sextile Saturn is all about rewards, achievement, recognition, promotions, success, for your effort. Okay. So again, you worked with Saturn, you're going to get rewarded, and it's Saturn, the authority. So literally authority figures at this time could be opening doors for you, making things happen for you. Again, before Saturn moves into Aries, where he's going to put some emphasis on a different area of your life. And you only get this twice a year. This is the last time it's happening this year. So please take that inspired action as you finish up your lesson, right? For in your 11th house. Like, this is big. And he will come back in the fall and check in. Okay. He will come back. But anyway, if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your husband, your wife, your sister, mother, whoever it is, your child, everybody's going to feel this aspect, okay? But the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, fixed signs, you, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, I'm going to throw in Capricorn and Aries in here as well, will feel it the most. And if you have any planets between 27 to 2 degrees, in mutable signs or fixed signs that I just mentioned in your birth chart, if you know your natal chart, you're going to feel this the most. Now, you see we move into Gemini season. Hello, this is really big. So, especially for you. Why? Because Gemini rules your second house. I mean, that is money, income, salary, finances, but also self-worth and self-value if you're not here for money, okay? Building that confidence. Saturn's moving into Aries. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel this week. You're going to feel it enormously, all right? Because Gemini season is all about communication and learning new things and launching new things and teaching and writing and travel, marketing, advertising, PR, building bridges. Yeah, it's opening doors, or doors opening for you, vibrating at that high frequency. Most of all, for Gemini season, for the next 4 weeks, is curiosity. Having that curiosity for the new. Gemini is so social, okay? So I want you to keep your lines of communication open, please. And Gemini is all about the mind, okay? So mind over matter, power to attract what you know you deserve. See your May forecast, okay? I talk a lot more about Gemini season, but just I'll leave it at the end of this video or the description box. Just remember, Jupiter is here in Gemini, helping expand and grow and bring luck and good fortune and wisdom and optimism and abundance to everything that I just said. Again, this is your second house where you're going to start seeing growth, because don't forget, if you saw your May forecast, what happens on Monday, the 26th, the new moon in Gemini. Remember, one of the best new moons of 2025 because of all this that's happening and what's happening next week. And again, it is in your second house. If you are here for money, there you go. Plant them seeds. And a lot of you are already seeing it. Okay. And again, second house is also, material possessions, right? You can be getting that Lamborghini you wanted. There's a lot happening for you. Jupiter, by the way, is faith and belief. I've told you this. So you've got to believe. You've got to have that self-love. You've got to have that self-belief. Belief is translated biochemically. That's why I always say vibrate at a high frequency. I say it for many reasons, but this helps attract everything that you deserve, okay? And Gemini, like I said, power of the mind, but Gemini is also the twin. You have the power to choose, okay? So choose, again, self-belief, self-love, gratitude, compassion, all of that helps you vibrate at that high frequency, because everything is energy, as I always mention. And remember, this is not just hermetic principles and spirituality. It is literal science. Albert Einstein himself said, match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you can't help but get that reality, okay? And I know I use that quote a lot, but it's to remind you all the time it's possible, and I'm going to emphasize it now because Albert Einstein got what he wanted. So he was proof, okay? And you're going to see, and I'm going to bring him up again, all right? Now, Thursday, May 22nd, you got the Sun, sextile Neptune. Yeah, this is, come on. You're going to love this. This is so beyond, like, This is like outer body experience, like spiritual for you. This is amazing. Remember, Neptune and Aries, spiritual warrior, compassionate leader, visionary leader, that hero energy, right? For the greater good. This is enormously auspicious. Again, huge. The sun has moved into Gemini. Yeah. So please, it's happening when the sun sextiles Saturn. Please be social, network, interact, all of that. The sun is at full blast. Jupiter's helping expand. Now, Neptune's bringing in that heightened creativity, imagination, intuition, compassion. Remember, visionary. This brings that level of spirituality into your life. And the fact that Neptune's in Aries in your 12th house of spirituality and intuition and higher mind, like rest and retreat, all of that. It's wonderful. Healing. It's wonderful. Psychic. Whoa. It's very, like, your intuition's going to be off the charts, and you're going to see the difference it makes when you do have those moments of meditation and mantras and, self-belief in your dreams. That's Neptune. What I say about vision boards, okay? Visualize. That's Neptune. Visionary. Think about where you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Visualize it. Put yourself on that timeline. I've talked about visualization. Use it, okay? Use it. Please use this. Visualize. Now, this is definitely a great aspect for artists, any artistic types, musicians, filmmakers, photographers, anyone really. It's creativity. It's playwriters. It's healers, especially for you. Y'all could be, becoming big healers. Scientists, psychologists, metaphysicists. It doesn't matter. This is big, okay? This is big for y'all. And so just please feel this energy. It's just that visionary energy. Frank Ocean, Tim Burton, they all have Versace. They like visionary. Mikey Madison, who just won the Oscar, right, for best. So they have this. Now, this is happening the same day that Venus trines Mars. We've talked about this, Taurus. You have no idea. This is absolutely amazing. You got the two cosmic lovebirds and this harmonious, powerful aspect. This is very different from the Venus-Mars trines that we've had recently. Remember, they were retrograde. It was just like, this is different because they're in fire signs. This is plain and simple fun and emotive, and it's Riz. As the kids no longer say, you remember, you got Venus in Aries, you got Mars in Leo, two fire signs, okay? And then you got the sun in Gemini, you got Pluto in Aquarius, you got all this fire and air. This is you just being magnetic. There's going to be a lot of emphasis at home and the foundations of your life, your significant other. There may be stuff here with your children, creativity. There's realtors, real estate, property matters. There's stuff here. You want to have a kid? Have one. You got a lot happening here for, you know what I mean? Like, but most of all, just be social. That's all it is. This is being social. It's Venus, your ruling planet that is so social. So in any capacity, fun, relationships, work, it doesn't matter. We don't have this again until 2027. So creative projects, love, romance, sex, money, pleasure, whatever, it's just passion, okay? Use this. First dates, yes, it's going to be fun, all right? Go on a bowling date. Go shopping. It's Venus. Start a new hobby. Do some pickleball. This is it where you're going to feel this strong, okay? So I really want you to use this. Now, one quick tip. If Venus, your ruling planet, if Venus is what your heart desires, if Venus is what brings you pleasure, Mars is the action you take to get it. So take that action, vibrate at that high frequency. And I say that specifically on this day because A, this is the money shot. You're going to feel this all week. This is it. And this is one of those, it's just like one of those aspects where, yeah, you can pull in. Remember, so you're going to feel magnetic. You could pull in like kismet moments. So again, please put yourself out there. Do not book a trip to, Antarctica, like a solo journey this week. You're going to want to be around. All right. And this is the last Mars and the last Venus aspects of the month. All right. So go do things, build a fort, with the kids, with your lover. Do things that you've never done before. We're in Gemini season. What did I say? Be curious. Be creative. All right? Start a new TikTok dance that will go viral. Do the Bart dance. It don't matter. Go to the mall. Just do things. All right? Build things. Do things and feel things. Now, that's not it. For this day, you got the moon in Aries as well. That's going to make you want to take action, feel bold and courageous and spirited. It's not just that. You got the moon, Neptune, and Sirius in a triple conjunction at 1 degree, new beginnings. We'll talk about it in the second spread. And don't forget, Chiron and Eris, remember they're conjuncting? Yeah, that's the perfection happens this week. Remember, Eris is Mars' sister. It's such a big week. Anyway, you're just gonna feel really fierce moving into the weekend. And then we do have something happening. I missed something here. Wednesday, May 21st. Yeah. So we do have a triple conjunction here too, with the moon and Saturn and the North Node. There's gonna be something here. It's kind of like the last gasp, that 29 degrees before you move into this. Anyway, again, second spread, we'll talk about it, where we talk about lunations, asteroids, planetoids. May 23rd. Let's just keep going. You have the moon conjunct Venus, one of the best moon aspects ever. Okay, so you're really going to feel this day or these days. Now, May 24th, depending on where you live, 24th, 25th. Welcome to the least boring weekend ever. You've got Saturn moving into Aries, 11:30 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time on the 24th. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. That's New York City time. I'm going to do a separate video on Saturn moving into Aries with Neptune because it's just you can't do this that's a two hour video that you can't. Okay, for every sign. Now, that's what makes this different, okay? So just a couple things here. This is the first time Saturn has been in Aries since the late 90s, all right? Remember, Aries rules your 12th house. Very spiritual, very healing. The 12th house is very nebulous, yeah? It's everything beyond the physical plane. It's things happening behind the scenes for you. It's also you working with, and when I say spirituality, this is a 12th house. This is a lot of the subconscious as well, doing a lot of subconscious work, but it's also truly healing, letting things come to the surface. Anything that is getting in your way that you realize, it's just like, we're unrooting it now. All right. So that is what you're really going to be working on. And when I say spirituality, it's just like you are going to have these really big moments for the next few years in terms of what are the things that I want to make real. Remember, Saturn is reality. So your dreams, 12th house, dreams, spirituality, all of that. It's going to be big for you. All right. So Saturn is going to be here until September with Neptune, giving you a preview of what your life is going to be like from February 2026 and beyond. Now, to be a little bit more accurate, Taurus, it's barely a preview because you've already begun. You're already in stage 1 of Saturn and Aries, okay? Because remember, mid-March, we had that 6-planet conjunction over the 0 degree Aries point with the new moon solar eclipse in Aries with the equinox. Aries, Neptune moved into Aries, right? A month ago, we had Venus in Aries, Mercury, Eris, Chiron in Aries. Hey, by the way, Chiron in Aries, that's been since 2017. What happened the year after that? Uranus moved into your sign. Can we talk about how your years have been since that time frame? But the past 2 years, and then we went into eclipse season you in Scorpio. And so the past 2 years, like you've been coming out of that, Chiron's moving into your sign in 2026. Okay. So I don't know if I told you this. I got Chiron in my 12th house and it's Taurus ruled. That 2026 is going to be interesting for me. But anyway, it's not a bad thing. It's just, anyway, listen, here's the thing. You're at the beginning of this new stage already because you've already been doing the work. All that Aries energy, you've already been doing the work. All right. So now you are officially entering this brave new world, right? Brave, obviously, because it's Aries. Bold, brave, courageous. The big takeaway, as I've been saying, to help put this in your consciousness, out with the old, in with the new. This is a hard stop now, okay? Pluto has already been breaking things down in order for you to have your breakthrough for your new era. Pluto moved into Aquarius. It hasn't even been 6 months. It's still so fresh. And then, Pluto's been working with Saturn. Saturn, who was karma and life lessons and discipline for new structures, like I mentioned last week. And your month, new structures, new system, this new direction, new rules that you're building now for the long term, okay? Especially over the summer, especially for even, 3 years, okay? So what's happening here is once in a lifetime, like I said, especially with Neptune and Saturn conjuncting in Aries. That's powerful, yeah? Over 300 years. But then you throw in the aspects. No. Yeah, it's been nobody has experienced. Anyway, the perfection, when Saturn and Neptune conjunct at the perfected degree, where they actually meet at 0 degrees in February 2026. Yeah, we'll talk when we get there. But this is still very powerful all summer long. This is your moment where you are going to feel empowered, and you are going to empower, and you're going to inspire, and you're going to contribute to the collective in this amazing way, because this is your 12th house of spirituality. And so it doesn't matter if you are a CEO of a company. It doesn't matter if you're a writer, if you're a dentist, if you're a candlestick maker, if you're a grandmother, if you're a son. It does not matter, right? All that matters is you matter, and you are making new rules for your new era, because this is now we're entering a time period. Well, the new everything changes this year, and it's all about how you contribute to the collective and what that word means for you. And the other thing is Saturn in Aries is mastery of self. So you are truly working on you. Every sign's going to be working on them, because of the beginning of something new in your world and within you. And don't forget, what did I say in your monthly forecast? The most critical thing, wax on, wax off. Mr. Miyagi, that is Saturn in Aries, okay? Because Saturn in Aries requires patience. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Yeah? Who said that? I brought this up before. Leave it in the comments. You get a really nice smile for me if you get it right. All right? No Googling, no cheating. But anyway, feel free to go back to your May forecast or your March forecast. All right? Especially that once in a lifetime, because I go a lot deeper. All right? This truly is a new era. All right? And just wait until Uranus, the last of the 4 planets, changes signs and leaves your sign in 2 months. All right. So you're going to see, you've already been going through big shifts, and sun, moon, rising, doesn't matter. It's you, Taurus. I see what's going on for y'all. Just remember, practice patience. Slow and steady wins the race, because Saturn is chrono. Saturn is time. Saturn is the last of the traditional planets. All right. Entering the first of the zodiac, which is Aries. Aries is the first. Nothing would exist without Aries. Astrology would not exist without Aries. It is the beginning. So once again, congratulations, Taurus, because you're coming to the end of a 29.5-year cycle. Remember, late 90s. For anyone, Saturn is the world card in tarot, by the way. It's the end, right? The major arcana, the big journey. And he's traveling with Neptune, the hanged man, okay? Attributed to Neptune, like I said, but connected to the world card. And they're traveling together, 0, 1 degrees, 320 years, no big deal, right? So again, unless you're a vampire or an oak tree, you have never experienced this. Throw in the fact that Saturn is sextiling Uranus, Saturn is trining Pluto, Again, Uranus moving into Gemini for the first time in 84 years. In July, Pluto already in Aquarius, first time in 250 years. Are you joking me, right? So I told you Saturn's making things easy. It's very atypical. He's hard. And I'm not saying he's not going to be hard. He's still going to test you. He's still going to test you. But this is interesting. And he usually puts on the aviators, and he is reality checks. And a lot of your reality checks are going to be spiritual. It's going to be all about your, when we say spirituality, it's just like, what are the things that make my life meaningful? What are the things that I want my life, to be meaningful? What is my connection with, like, the going deep? Remember, 12th house is also like the subconscious and things like that, but it's healing. That's the great thing. Okay. Healing others. Now, and when you see what happens here, by the way, when Saturn moves into Aries, it almost like you, out of all the signs, because it is your 12th house, this really just lets you see a lot more clearly in terms of what gives you purpose and drive and makes your life meaningful enough to do the work that Saturn requires. Yeah? So you're going to feel it. Why? Because Saturn's moving into Aries. Fuel. That's fiery. Saturn in Aries is a contradiction, by the way. Saturn is slow and old and cold and heavy and, patient. And he's time. Aries is fast and young and fiery and fearless and impatient. And he doesn't even wear a watch. All right. So very different vibes. But when you got Neptune here, it changes things too. Remember, Saturn turns your dreams, Neptune, into reality, Saturn. The one thing I'm going to tell you, remember, with what's happening here, the lower expression, especially with a powerful, potent conjunction like this, can be illusion and delusion and confusion and escapism and self-sabotage. And for you, Taurus, this is your 12th house. Okay? So remember, the lower expressions of the 12th house would be like self-sabotage or, avoiding things that you have to face or hidden enemies or, those are 12th house things, but you really see them during, certain aspects. All you got to do is be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah. Who said that? We've talked about that. That's a big one. He had Neptune in Aries. Now, so wax on, wax off. You'll be rewarded. Okay. Learn, grow, have a plan. You're going to be rewarded. Go with the flow with the go. At this point, the past is now the past. Okay. We call it the past for a reason, right? Now, everything is cyclical. So this is just another cycle within some other cycles. This is part of the, Jupiter-Saturn cycle. And that's the other thing. A lot of people, when they see Saturn, they're just like, Saturn moving into Aries. Well, again, think about 2018, 2019, when Saturn was actually in Capricorn. When Uranus moved into your sign. Think about 2020, when Saturn moved into Aquarius. Saturn rules both Capricorn and Aquarius. What happened 2020? That was pretty life-changing. It was a very different energy. But this entire year is going to be a big year of change. So just leave the old structures, patterns, ways of thinking behind for the amazing things that await you on the other side. Yeah? All right? And yes, Albert Einstein, he had Saturn in Aries. Okay? Now, let's see. What else is going on that I can tell you about? Oh, yeah, and everyone's going to feel this, obviously. But if you know your birth chart, if you have early degrees, like 0 to 3 degrees in any of the cardinal signs, yeah. So, or you know what? Yeah, you're really going to feel this. But either way, I'm just going to do a separate video. I'm going to tell you one thing, Taurus. I'll tell you. We're going to talk about this in the second spread, but the moon will be in your sign starting this day. The moon's exalted in your sign, but there's a couple things I want you to look out for. Now, Sun trine Pluto, big. That's also at 3 degrees. I mean, this is insane. All right. So all these early degree, like, remember, new. Sun trine Pluto, by the way, this is so profound. This is that visceral, like, I've been waiting for this. It's a supercharge.
Yeah, it's when you feel unstoppable on top of the world. We've had this before. I've talked about this, Sun, this life force, right? And Pluto, power, empowerment, transformation, the sign in the sign of the future, like very visionary. And you get them together, it's almost like you've got this power inside you that you didn't even believe existed. All right, but you do, and something here is transforming your life, or you are transforming your life, especially when it comes to career and fame, because this is your 10th house, which is very public facing. But the 10th house is, even if you're retired or not working, whatever you want to be known for, what's your biggest passion? This is 10th house, okay? But career is the biggest thing. You throw in the fact that the sun is in Gemini, your second house of salary. There you go. There you go. If you're here for that, if you're not, 10th house is just also honors and achievements. Coming after Sun, sextile Saturn, that's big. Yeah. But remember, this is something you're going to feel all week. It's a trine. Something like this is just so transformative. And it gives you that confidence and that self-belief and, self-esteem. And remember, you already did that shadow work last week, right? That full moon. That's done. That's gone. So now you're just like, bring it on. And at this point, doors are opening for you. Okay. And that's because you are unlocking them now. You've got the keys. And this is power of attraction. This is life force energy. This is let it be known. Like, let it be known that because it is very influential. When the sun trines Pluto, you feel that. You leave an impression. You leave this footprint. Yeah. All right. So you're gonna feel this until like the end of the month. It's strong. Like Bruce Lee, Grace Kelly, Shakira, Aretha Franklin, Upton Sinclair. A lot of people. This is big. Okay. Diana Ross. Anyway, air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and I'm gonna throw in Leo and Scorpio as well. Are gonna feel this the most. Everyone's gonna feel this. If you have planets between 0 to 6 degrees. I'm giving a little bit of a wider orb here. In fixed or mutable signs in your birth chart, you're going to feel it. Now, why are you going to feel this day, Taurus? Or why are you going to feel this day more than any other sign? Is because you see what's happening here. All right. So you are going to feel a little bit restless, mind and body, but in a stimulating way, in a good way. And like you're about to meet Robert Pattinson. Yeah. Taurus or Shakespeare. Because you see that you've got Mercury conjunct Uranus in your sign this day. Okay. Big. Yeah. So you're going to feel this. It happens once a year. It's rare. It's a mic drop of a conjunction. So what is this? It's breakthroughs. Okay. Big ones. Personal breakthroughs. It's happening in your sign. It's happening in your sign. This is like, you can't make this up. All right. So for you, what I see what's going on for you, there is gonna be likely big breakthroughs in work, money, finances, career, love, creative projects, or like really big sparks of clarity, light bulb moments, epiphanies about your future, new experiences, some out of the blue. Maybe you get surprise messages. It's Mercury, right? Contracts, agreements that you never saw coming, you never, expected, or you made it happen because, as I always say, you use these aspects, so you have that breakthrough. Uranus is also freedom, right? So this is shaking things up, freeing yourself from something that you don't want. You want something else, all right? Something in your physical world, interactions. It's just very stimulating, all right? So please think outside the box this weekend. Yeah, the weekend. This week. These two planets together, come on. It's big, it's creative, it's inventive, it's original, it's rebellious, it's pioneering, it's inspiring. And again, all about your future, how you're seeing your future, getting good news about your future. In the end, it's just change. It's Uranus, the great awakener. This is you having that great awakening. Yeah, it's happening at 27 degrees. It's a mutable degree. So that's a Gemini degree. It amplifies that Mercury energy that you're feeling in Gemini, Sun in Gemini, Jupiter in Gemini, all about communication, messages, interactions with other people, launching new things, curious, right? That's what this is. And again, for most Tauruses, especially Taurus rising, money, finances. But again, something here that's building confidence, self-worth, self-value. Yeah, and of course this aspect can bring like shocking ideas, conversations, and twists like that. Or, it's Uranus. But the biggest takeaway of all, look at what's happening here. All right. So with you got Gemini's ruler, you got Aquarius's ruler. Anyway, it's just radical, innovative, revolutionary breakthrough, change of mindset. Okay. Freedom, free your mind. Okay. Yeah. Q in vogue, free your mind. All right. So say, think something new, have your breakthrough. Okay. And consider this a new cycle. Conjunctions, I want you to start considering them because they basically are. Yeah. Conjunctions set up cycles. And this is happening while you've got the Sun sextile Saturn, Sun sextile Neptune. You got Mercury trine Pluto next week. You got that new moon 2 days from now. I mean, come on. And here's some news for you. I'm going to give you, Taurus. You will never, ever, ever have this aspect again in your sign. This is the last one. Remember, Uranus is moving into Gemini. This is the last one that's happening in your sign for the next 84 years. All right? Use this. Use it. All right? Have your breakthrough. Look at you can't just look at one. You gotta look at everything. You gotta look at the story for all the planets that are having conversations right now, even the asteroids and planetoids and the lunations. You got the moon in your sign. Like, come on, have that breakthrough. Have that breakthrough. Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. They are related, all right? They rule air signs. So again, the mind, or communication, all right? Uranus rules Aquarius. Like I said, Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo too, all right? So it's very interesting. This is kind of like my life story. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Gemini rising and a Virgo moon. This completes anyway, fixed signs, Taurus, you. Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and Virgo, and Gemini are going to feel this the most. I'm even going to throw in Sagittarius and Pisces. And then if you know your birth chart, if you have planets between 25 to 29 degrees in any fixed sign, you're going to feel this. That's not all. Again, you got the moon in your sign. There's going to be some stuff here. We'll talk about the second spread. You got Mercury moving into Gemini on the 25th. And Mercury rules Gemini. It's, in its domicile, where it's at home. So for the next 2 weeks, literally everything that I said, especially with Mercury involved, just amplifies it. Okay. Now that's all it's doing. Communication, thinking, logic, ideas, networking, business, launching things, your mindset, all of that just amplified. You're going to be craving stimulation with Mercury and Gemini. All right. Especially there's going to be a lot of stuff here that have to do with money. Conversations about money and finances, but also things that you value. All right. Relationships as well as food may be a thing, especially with some of the, other things that are happening. Okay. We'll talk about the second spread. There may be something here with food or your diet. And you just got to know that you just got to circulate and put yourself out there. You have a stellium. Okay. So you got the Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury in Gemini on the heels of a new moon in Gemini. Yeah. One of the best ones of the year. So remember, this is all at 0 degrees. There's something new. And I want you to think that's the mindset, something new that's happening in your life. That's going to be really, really big because Sedna is here too. And I got to do a whole video on Sedna alone. That's a whole other thing. And she's actually responsible for one of the reasons why we are going to have the type of year that we're going to have. All right. Now, Mercury will sextile Saturn. There you go. Perfect. That's happening at night. My time around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 0 degrees. You will never, ever, ever, ever have Mercury and Gemini sextile Saturn in Aries at 0 degrees ever again. Okay? And this aspect in general, you're not going to get again until next year. And this is, what did I say? The degree of like creating something, creation, the new, right? Fresh new, all of that. So something here, remember Saturn's all about the long term and commitments. Yeah? Please take advantage of this. Please do. All right. Because there's something here that is got the potential to grow really big. And there's something already brewing this week for you. Agreements, contracts, business deals, negotiating, decision making, communication, job interview, marketing, whatever it is, it's for the long term. Writing a book, starting a website, redoing your resume, okay? Opening an online store, opening a physical store, maybe a sandwich shop, whatever you want, being a teacher, a mentor. There's something here that is you're breathing life into something new. And Saturn is bringing that longevity, okay? So ask yourself, what is your magnus opus? What is your story to tell? What is the thing that you want? Because Mercury, remember, is going to sextile Neptune, actually. Bringing that creativity, imagination, compassion, all of it. It's amazing. I love what's happening here. Okay, so think, visualize, take action, and everyone's going to feel that. Okay, everyone's going to feel Mercury sextile Saturn. It's at 0 degrees, but cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, and mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, are going to feel it the most. If you have any planets between 0 to 2 degrees in any of the signs I just mentioned, you are going to feel it. Let's get started. And don't forget, again, all this on the heels of the new moon in Gemini on the 26th, with even like Mercury trining Pluto next week. We got the Mercury Cazimi. We got a lot. Listen, we're on the brink of it's just a big new chapter. And the moon in your sign. Let's get started. All right. Let's see what's going on for you. Taurus for May 19th. To the 25th. All right, Taurus. Let me do a time check. Okay. Let's get started. How are y'all doing? Did I point out the Venus flytrap last week? It was on sale. Venus is your ruler. I'm just why. Taurus, I do a traditional culture cross spread, offers the best overview. If we need to pull especially for a weekly, look at this week. Come on. Big week. And if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, I love y'all. Let's get started. Oh, I got to put another. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. You're going to get a mic drop. You're going to get one of these. You're going to get Aaron Paul. Anyway, you're good. You're good. I can't even listen. This is a week where if you're a cross watcher, by the way, you just know that everyone's going to get let's get started. You got the sun. There you go. What I say about the sun is, you know what the sun is. Okay. So this is optimism. This is opportunities. This is vitality, that life force. This is high frequency. What's coming out of the sun? Look at the rays. What do you think that is? It's vibrations. Vibrating. And this is feel-good energy. This is achievements. There's something that you have already achieved. Look at what's happening here. Okay? And as you move into this week, this is really wonderful. Or something's about to happen too. Look at that. You know it. The other thing is, remember I talked about how you're starting this new journey or a brand new era. This really is kind of like this rebirth happening right here. I just, even, the sun is card 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. That's 1. New beginning. You see you got all court cards and major arcana other than what's here, but we're going to talk about that. Now, you got the King of Cups. Great. I mean, that's empathy, that's love, that's self-love, that's mastery of emotions. That's wonderful. And it's that intuitive energy that I was talking about that you're moving into that's going to be really strong. And here's the thing. When your intuition is heightened, I talk about this all the time. We all have intuition, right? What makes a difference is connecting with it. And you're about to connect in a way that you never have in 30 years. And what's great about this is that when you trust your intuition, you have no doubts. You have no self-doubts. Everything just, you know what I mean? All right. So this is really great with the King of Cups. It's also like remember, you're becoming this big leader and even a healer. I would even like a lot of Tauruses are going to be healing in some way. And it can be through, the work that you do. It can be through family. It can be through whatever it is. It's just like, you're the rock. People are going to come to you. You're just like, it's a thing. It's a thing. You got the 2 ones here. I don't mind it. But it is saying there is something here where you're coming out of something that could have felt a little stuck. Okay. And I want you to, you're gonna have to, you see that. So that's really great. The other thing is, don't get stuck. Remember, Uranus is already going to shake things up for you anyway with the Mercury conjunction. And as you move into this week, you already have the Uranus Cazimi, Uranus conjunct the sun in your sign. So things are already like being, shaken up for you. That's why I like this. You got to look at the entire spread. But don't get stuck. Don't resist things when you're getting these. And that's the other thing about intuition. When you trust your intuition, you see the little winks from the universe. You see the sign saying, okay, we got to, and then move this way or do this, or that's it. It changes everything. The other thing I was going to say is that there's someone in your life that is definitely, they may be on the fence on something. Remember, this is just a weekly reading. All right. So, it just feels like, honestly, there may be a conversation that needs to be had about that. And it can be work. It can be something career related. It can be something lover, like a lover. But you're all different. Yeah. So you got the devil and judgment. What I say about that spiritual energy that you're going to feel out of all this, like really amped up. So the devil in your crown, there's some things, listen, there's some things that you've got to leave in the past. We know that, okay? There are some things this week that you're going to, maybe even come across, and it's going to be, what did I say? All this 12th house activity that's happening, right? That is a subconscious. And there is a sense of, what I say, self-sabotage. And this card there is a little bit of that. You see the 2 people from the Lover's card chained to the devil. They know that they're, but it's a matter of like, let's break free from the chains. Like, this feels good, right? This card is, but it's also, some of y'all have to know what it is, right? It's like being aware of what those chains are so you can break free. And a lot of that requires going, maybe into your subconscious. So there are different levels that are coming up for me. Some Tauruses is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm in a, friends with benefit situation, but I really want true love. I want to have a family. So that, like, something like that. That's that awareness. Some of y'all may have to go like really, really, really deep, but it's going to be easy. You got all this, things, supportive aspects in your 12th house. Just recognize it, whatever it is. This card is a Capricorn card. 2 things here. Capricorn rules your 9th house of spirituality and your belief system and like self-belief, right? So there's something here where it's maybe we need to change our perspective, because that's what everything this week I said is, especially with Mercury conjunct Uranus, shifting the way that you see things as well. But breaking free from the chains. All right. And the other thing is, Saturn, therefore, right? Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn. And this is obsessions, vices, addictions, pessimistic thinking, codependency, things like that. You got judgment in the root of your spread. You want it. You want to have this big breakthrough. This is having a huge spiritual awakening. Remember, I said Saturn moving into Aries, right? This is in the beginning, something new, right? Saturn being the world card, right? What comes right before the world? Judgment. You gotta know who you are, and you gotta have that feeling of like, I'm free. I'm free. Yeah. So this is breaking free. This is in your crown. This is in the root of your spread. You want it. But there's something, and it may be taking up too much headspace too. All right? That's got to go. Judgment. You have an archangel here blowing the trumpet. So it's hearing the sound. What is sound? Frequency. Yeah? It's vibrations. It's healing. And look at who's free. So the blowing of the trumpet, the dead are rising. When you are connected, there's parts of you that awaken. This is a great awakening. This is a spiritual awakening, and you want it. But there's something up here. There's this. All right. So let's work with that. The disconnect between, I don't want to let this go. Like you telling yourself something, or maybe even or like I said, like self-sabotage that the card is associated with. But deep down inside, there's this like profound shift that you may be feeling. Let it out, right? You got the King of Wands. You're gonna be fine. You got 2 kings here. That's leadership. Remember, that's what is happening for you. All right. So King of Wands is fiery AF. A lot of you are becoming dads, yeah, with these two, or CEOs or managers, or starting your own business. He is the entrepreneur, but dad energy is coming through. You got a lot of family stuff, by the way, happening anyway, but even career stuff. So, but that's really great. Look across. This is amazing. Again, look how significant this week is going to be for you with all these court cards, major arcana. That's great. King of Wands, very transformative king, but this is passion, epitome of passion. You sitting there in that throne because you worked hard to get there. You earned it, and it feels good. Now it feels good. I'm sitting there. Everything I feel passionate about is right here in your future. Wonderful. Wands are your passions. It's also, a lot of creative energy. Did I mention? I think, yeah, I did. So yeah, a lot of creative energy, but also just, what are you ambitious about? There you go. Taurus, if you like this reading, it would be great if you subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. I love y'all. And let's go. Hey, you want another one? I'll give you another mic drop. I'll give you another one of these. I'll give you a close-up of the owl. The wise owl, even this, I don't know what that, it's like I don't know. Anyway, you're good. You're absolutely, look at this. You literally, I can't. I mean, you and your 3 kings in a weekly reading. King of Swords, break that. All right, use that sword, break that chain, right? Okay, so this is all up here. King of Swords, all up here. Swords, the mental suit. Communication is going to be key, but this is you being the king. This is you having that power, that authority. What I talk about, Sun trine Pluto, right? All that power, empowerment. What I talk about, all these Mercury aspects of the mind, mindset. All of this is, he's a member of Mensa. He started Mensa. Yeah, there's that Albert Einstein energy I was talking about. So use it. Okay. This is fairness. This is being not afraid. Okay. You got to say things clearly. But also, it looks like you're signing something. It's very possible. There's something here that you may be signing or agreeing to. You got the star in your external factors area. Hello, this is your hopes, your dreams, everything. But this is faith. Okay. This is healing. You're good. You're really good. You're really good because there's growth here. Okay. Do you remember last week when I told you, it may have been the week before, it may be actually when you had the new moon in your sign recently. So there's already new things happening for you. That's another cycle, right? Remember how I said, you want to plant seeds during that new moon or anytime during Taurus season, especially coming after that new moon, because you are the earth sign in spring. Yeah. Fertile ground. And so any inspired action that you take, you're going to see grow. Yeah. This week, especially, you see the water bear here. This card is attributed to Aquarius, by the way. All right. Remember, that's your 10th house of career, fame, recognition, honors, achievements, social status, leadership, all of that. Yeah. Look at the water bear pouring onto the land. Okay. Not only into the water, onto the land. Look at everything growing within the world. Fertile ground, fertility, growth, all of that. Enlightenment. You see the abyss in the back. Anyway, you got the sun and the star. Yeah. This is amazing. For once, yeah. So there's some big milestone that you want. You're going to get it. Just keep going after it. Let that go. And you got it. This is a card of celebration. Card of freeness, freedom. They're outside of the castle for a reason. This is a card of marriage. This is a card of having a baby, getting your dream job, getting a promotion. A lot of domestic stuff happening for y'all, by the way. Really great, really great. And love and pleasure and romance may be a big thing for you, and creativity and money. This card is attributed to Venus and Aries. Remember, you got Venus and Aries trine Mars. Ace of Wands in your final outcome. So when I say something new is happening, you've got it. You've got it. Okay? You've got it. What was that show with Lisa Kudrow? I'm it. You've got it. This is, you got here's the thing. Aces, new beginnings, new cycles, new opportunities. You got the wands here. What did I talk about? Planting the seeds and fertility and this growth of something abundant in your world. You see the leaves here growing on the wand. Like, this is huge. Wands, again, a lot of career stuff here, a lot of sexual energy, to be honest. Okay. You do have Venus trine Mars this week. And there's possibly, are y'all having babies? Some of y'all are having babies or grandkids. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. That's great. Or someone within your orbit. But I'm going to show you something. One last thing. Well, hey, you're good. Look at this. You only got two. You got 2 pip cards. If there's anything else to add to this, it's just don't get stuck. I said that, but just don't lose inspiration. Yeah. You only got 2. This is insane, but I'm gonna show you something here. You see, you got actually 3 cards where they're not wearing any clothes, right? There's that nudity here, but you got the wisdom child, you got the water bear, you got these 2 people from the lovers card, yeah. But there's that sense of like freeness. Yeah, you can express yourself. Nothing's holding you back. You're in your element. Okay. But this, remember, they're chained to the devil. So that's where you just want to. Taurus, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much. Next week, we're going to get into it. And the second spread, yes. Oh my gosh. You got the moon in your sign. You got, you got Chiron, Aries, Juno, Ceres, all in action this week. You've got a triple conjunction with your North Node in your 11th house, your future hopes and wishes and dreams. You have a triple conjunction in Aries. There's something growing here. Anyway, we'll talk about that in the second spread. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. We'll poop our cards. Anyone's welcome to join. And then, next week, you know what's happening next week. Y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Oh, it got dark. Y'all are amazing, Taurus. I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.